expository text. So look up here. Mrs. Murphy's going to make this really big. So let's listen to what an expository text is. And I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to call on some of you who are not paying attention, to give me the 3 different ways we know a story is an expository text.
Expository text. The selection Into the Sea is an expository text. Expository text includes facts about real events, includes text features, has a text structure.
Okay, so yesterday we read Into the Sea. That was an expository text. Today we're going to read about Avalanche. This is also an expository text. How do I know the story yesterday was an expository text? What does an expository text have to have? Louis.
Into the Sea is an
Say it one more time, a little bit louder, Ben.
Into the Sea is an explanatory text.
How do I know it's expository though? What does it have to have? Wyatt, help them out.
It includes facts about real events.
Yep, it's facts. It's real stuff. It's the truth. It's not made up. Rayla, what else?
Text features and text feature structure.
Good. So text features and text feature structure. So it could have like some subheadings. It could have charts. It could have graphs. It has real facts. And it's giving us real information. Okay? Now,
3 plus 1 is 4.
we're going to talk about something new. And we haven't talked about this yet this year.
Okay, 5 plus 2 is
We're going to talk about cause and effect. So listen to cause and effect.
Cause and effect. A cause is an event or action that makes something happen. An effect is what happens because of that event.
5.
Okay.
Aren't you guys going to send?
Yes. So cause is what's going to happen.
4 plus 4 is?
And the event is the result of what's happening. So let's just say our cause is we have a big snowstorm and blizzard tomorrow.
Oh no.
What is probably going to be the effect?
What's 3?
Hayden?
The wind and snow.
There's going to be wind and snow, but what's going to be the effect? If we have a big snowstorm and blizzard tomorrow, what's going to be the effect probably?
8 plus 6.
Addie?
That, like, it can be dangerous because if we get it for a long time, then snow can pile up really high.
So it's going to be dangerous, okay? So that's one thing, that it could be dangerous. What's another effect? Wyatt?
Seriously injured.
You could get seriously injured or hurt. That would be another effect.
Warning.
Raylan?
Stop people from going places.
Yeah, you might not go anywhere tomorrow. That's another effect. You just might have to stay home. Briley?
What happens if your dad's at work?
Okay, but that's not the effect. I want the effect. What's going to happen if we have a big snowstorm or blizzard tomorrow? Louis, what else could happen? What would be the effect?
If someone's like on the road and the roads are icy, you could probably go on
So we said that's dangerous. We have dangerous road conditions.
the roads can be slippery.
Will we have school tomorrow?
No.
Probably not. That would be another effect. So another effect might be we might not have school. Wyatt?
Well, if it's really piled up and then it's not so thick, you can fall into it like a hole, and then you can probably suffer.
Could be dangerous. Okay, last one, Rain.
That was my answer.
That was your answer too. Okay, so cause is something that's happening, and the effect is what happens because of that, the result. The cause normally goes first, the effect goes last or second. Okay? Now this PowerPoint is kind of old, and so I noticed some of the sounds isn't working, so we'll just do our best though. So cause is what makes something happen. The effect is what happens. Now look up here. Mason, would you please put those back? The little girl was so sleepy, so she sat on her mother's Who can tell Mrs. Murphy what is the cause? And the cause is normally first.
Yep.
Addie, what's the cause?
The little girl was sleeping.
She was so sleepy. So now what is the effect?
So 2, carry it along.
John, what's the effect?
Put your 2 down, carry it along.
So if this is the cause, this has to be the effect. What's the effect?
Okay, what's 4 plus 4?
What does this say?
So,
Okay, you can go now. Good job.
mother's lap.
Yep, that was the effect. She sat on her mother's lap. That was the effect. Right there. Okay? All right, let's try another one. The boy was hungry. So he planted corn. You would think he would eat food, but he planted corn. Who can find the cause? Ingrid?
The boy was hungry.
The boy was hungry. And it's going to do this when I ran this morning and kept hitting that. That was the cause. Who can find the effect, Corla? So he planted corn. Good job.
I love corn.
That is the effect. Okay? All right. Look at this little baby in the stroller. Mason, it kind of looks like your little brother. Remember one time when I zoomed with you, he was in the stroller, wasn't he?
It was like,
All right. So the baby laughed because she liked her toy.
Oh, it's a girl.
So who can tell Mrs. Murphy what is the cause?
Oh, no.
Raylan?
the baby laughed.
The baby laughed. And what is the effect? What do you think, Ellie S? Because she liked her toy. Good job.
It went any farther, would slap her mother.
Okay, now, this one is going to be a little different. I'm going to read the sentence. And in the box, you have to figure out, is that the cause or is that the effect? He broke a class rule, so he had to write sentences on the board. Wyatt, he broke a class rule. Is that the cause or effect?
Cause.
Cause. That was a little loud.
Thank you.
But
Thank
Mrs.
you.
Murphy, just turn it down a 10.
Is it not
Sound worked on that one.
Thank
cold
you,
in
thank you.
a blank climate?
Thank you.
All right, the boy knew the answer, so he raised his hand.
That's
You
kind
have
of like us.
location.
Has your timer went off yet? All right, the boy knew the answer. Is that the cause or the effect? Charlotte, what do you think? Remember, the cause normally goes first, the effect normally goes second. So the boy knew the answer. Is that the cause or the effect? No. What always goes first normally? The cause.
You should hit a
We'll try it. When the child was bored, he tapped his fingers. So when the child was bored, is that the cause or
What's
effect?
that word?
Rain?
Do you not feel like
I'm
doing
just
that?
gonna try that.
You having a rough time?
But what is the real answer?
Cause.
It is cause.
Okay.
Do you guys want to know what happens if you hit the wrong one?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
it should do that. It should say that it was
Good
wrong.
job, that's
It's the
right.
cause.
Good job, that's right for no reason.
And then when we tap
Okay, that
pause,
was not
it'll
wrong.
say, that was
All right. Okay,
Turn
one
that
more.
thing down.
Mason. You need to stop making noise over there too.
Kid one. So,
All right. The boy wanted a drink because the sun was hot. What do you think about this one, Ellie? They wanted a drink. What one? Pause. Guess what this one is? It is a fact. Guess what they did on this one?
They
They
switched it.
switched it. And do you guys see the word because?
Yeah.
And if I took away the B, what word is right there?
Cause.
Cause. So right there, I know that this next part is cause because has the word cause in it. So this one they did switch it. Sometimes it is switched. So let's see the right one on this one. Oh, let's go back.
Wrong answer. Try again.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Anyway, it went right back. So we're gonna go on to practice cause and effect on our worksheet today. So can I have, John, would you put down please? We don't need glue out. I'm just gonna pass these out really quickly. This needs to be up here at all times. That needs to be there at all times.
Miss Murphy. Oh, that was
If not, I can print it for you. Okay.
Thank you. It's funny how it says, sorry, very cute.
How do you know this expectorant text is
Oh, thank you. Just put them on my desk. She's been correcting a few of them lately, so I'll change it.
Write it for I will.
Carson.
I think he's right.
Okay.
No, what? That's a whole word. I don't know.
Okay. All right, put your name at the top of this page on avalanches. And you're gonna put your finger on the first word, which is and. And we're gonna read this as a whole second grade class. Just waiting for Aria to be ready. Who else does it?
I'm not ready yet.
I'm looking with my eyes. You don't need to tell me with your mouth. Name on, finger on, and. Good job, Kristen. Just waiting for me to be ready. Kristen, we're reading it as a class. All right, here we go. Ready? All together. An avalanche is a snowslide high on a mountain. A big chunk of snow breaks loose. This snow slides down the slope, moving fast. It piles up at the bottom of the mountain. So that is what an avalanche is. So now I want you to tell me. The first question says, how do you know that what we are reading is an expository text? Brooklyn, how do we know it's an expository text? We talked about expository. John, what would you write for an answer? How do we know this is expository?
This is it and one.
Nope. We talked at the beginning of this lesson of 3 different things that makes an expository text. We listed 3 of them. Wyatt? Lewis?
C.
Wyatt?
C. Into the C.
That was an expository text too. How do I know that that story and this story are both expository texts? How do I know it's not a make-believe story? How do I know that it's real? Expository is real. Ingrid? Carson? L-E-A? either you guys aren't listening or I'm not teaching this very good. Raylan, can you tell me of why we know this expository text?
Because it has real facts.
It has real facts. Exactly. Thank you, Raylan. Thank you for listening. We know it's an expository text because it's real and it's going to give us real facts. It's not a made-up story. Like today, Morris has a pool. Is this a real story?
No.
Is this an expository text? No. How do I know? Why is this not an expository text, Addie?
Because animals can't talk.
Animals can't talk.
And literally,
Yes.
they can't pick up.
Right. So they can't talk. They can't do the things in here that normally animals are doing. Is there any facts about bears or moose in here? No. So this is not expository text. So second graders, I'm going to ask you all at the same time. And I want you to tell me what Raylan said. What is an expository text?
A real thing.
Okay, let's not say real thing. Real facts. Okay, what is expository text?
Real facts.
All right, that's the first one. How do we know it's expository text? It gives real facts. Now I'm going to be writing this, and I want you to write it with me. It gives real facts. Expository text gives real facts.
Shouldn't the I be lowercase because it's not alone?
Where? In which word?
The I.
Nope. It's the beginning of a sentence. Wyatt. But if it was alone, then yes, it still would be capitalized. But it's the beginning of the sentence. Beginning of the sentence always capitalized. The first word. All right, second graders, I'm gonna ask you one more time. I want you to say it all together. How do we know this is a expository text? Good job, real facts. The whole thing next time you won't forget it. Yes, real facts.
I wanted
Now.
to say it so bad.
Number 2.
I'm like, why aren't you calling me?
Because I'm seeing it. I know you know it, Raylan, but I'm seeing all of your other friends aren't paying attention. Why are the words avalanche, which is above, chunk, which is above, and slope in bold print? Now, bold print means that they're darker. Why are they like that? And when we read our story, for example, yesterday, I'm not going to pull it up on the cover touch because it will disappear. But yesterday, when we read Into the Sea, we had some bold words and they were actually yellow. Why are they bolded and yellow? What is the author trying to do? Brooklyn?
It's like showing your spelling.
Not spelling words, but you're close. What are those words called?
I can't think. A sentence that I can't think.
Ingrid?
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary words.
No.
These are vocabulary or words we need to know. So Mrs. Murphy's going to write the word vocabulary.
I'm shaking with my right hand. Mrs. Murphy.
And then you don't have to write this, but you guys know vocabulary words are words we need to know.
You actually have to write that.
No, I just said Addie. I just said you don't have to write it. I just want to write it so that you know that vocabulary words are words we need
To know.
to know. If you want to write it, you can. But that's why we do vocabulary words every week, because these are the words you need to know for the rest of your life. Okay, get ready.
Mrs. Murphy and I don't really want to see that. Yesterday there was dots on there. Now slashes.
Right here, vocabulary words. So this is where you move it up.
Repeat. Why every single time when you write a different sentence, you change the color of the pencil.
So that you can see that this is one of them. So it makes it easier for you to see. That's why I do that. Does it help you or does it not help you? Oh, because sometimes when I do one color, then it kind of all goes together. I kind of like to do different colors to break apart. Okay, write vocabulary words. And number 2, please. Where the red is. Okay, number 3. I'm going to read the question. I want you to think. What is the cause of the avalanche? So Mrs. Murphy is going to read it again. I want you to think. What is causing the avalanche? An avalanche is a snow slide. High on a mountain, a big chunk of snow breaks loose. This snow slides down the slope moving fast. It piles up at the bottom of the mountain. So what is causing the avalanche? Why do we have an avalanche? Rain, why do we have it? What's the cause?
It breaks. The chunk of snow breaks loose.
You found it exactly. Is that what the rest of you guys were thinking? Yes. Okay. Okay. So, Mrs. Murphy is going to show you up here. And I'm going to circle it, but you're going to copy it, okay? And then I'll write it, but it's going to be really small. So you might just want to circle it too. A big chunk of snow breaks loose. That is the cause. That's why we have an avalanche. A big chunk of snow breaks loose. And then I'm going to write it on number 3. I will move in a second.
Can we have any avalanches in Minnesota?
Do you think it probably would happen?
No.
Probably not. Why not?
Because we
Don't we have a few mountains?
A few, but not a lot.
don't even have mountains in Minnesota.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Don't
Not
we have
any.
Mount Rushmore?
No, Mount Rushmore is not in Minnesota.
It's just
Mount-
in America.
Mount Rushmore is in South Dakota.
Oh,
There's very small mountains. For example, if you want to go skiing at Mount Cato, which is in Mankato, there is a little mountain
Wait.
there. It's more like
been
a,
there.
I would say it's a hill too, Carson. I was just gonna say it. It's really not a big mountain,
It is
but there are a few big hills.
we've been talking about going there.
Have you?
We need mountains. We need
I've
glaciers.
been there.
I hope you get to go there. That'd be fun. So start with so big.
I'm going to Mexico.
Big chunk of snow. Just copy that. You can do it. You can do it. So I can put you up. Give you part points. You can. Okay. Now the cause is first. Normally the fact is after it. So what is the effect of an avalanche? So what happens because a big chunk of snow breaks loose? Who can find what happens next? I'll read it again. An avalanche is a snow slide. High on a mountain, a big chunk of snow breaks loose. This snow slides down the slope, moving fast. It piles up at the bottom of the mountain. Briley, what do you think? Okay, I'll come back to you. Aria, what do you think? Say it, look at louder, please. It piles up at the bottom of the mountain. That is one thing. It does pile up at the bottom of the mountain. But it also does one more thing because of the effect. Hayden?
It moves fast down the mountain
Yeah.
and piles up.
Good. It's this snow. Mrs. Murphy's going to circle all this, but we're not going to write all this. This is the effect. But we're going to make it shorter because it's a lot. This snow slides down the slope, moving fast. It piles up at the bottom of the mountain. So we're not going to write the whole thing. We're going to make it shorter. So we're going to say the snow slides down and piles up at at the bottom of the mountain.
Perfect.
So Mrs. Murphy is gonna move that up. Is that okay if I move it up? Okay. And then I'm gonna make it shorter for you to read. I'm sorry, write. So we're gonna say the snow. Everybody start with the snow.
The or this?
The snow.
The snow.
The snow. We're talking about the snow.
I thought it said this.
It does, but we can change it. It's okay if you change it. The snow slides down and piles up at the bottom of the mountain.
I'm already on this. Okay. Basically, it looks like